Hey everyone, with mutants being introduced into the MCU in the next couple years, this brings me much excitement as the X-Men are my favorite heroes in all of comics. So much news teasing the mutants and their future have been released in the past month, and I just wanted to do a recap of everything mutant related that you may have missed. Actor Louis Tan from Deadpool 2 appears to tease Shatterstar's return in Deadpool 3. Deadpool truly stopped the entire squad from dying with Cable's time machine. Tan also expressed his confidence that he will appear in the now cancelled X-Force film. In 2018, he told Sci-Fi Wire, "You're going to see more of my character in the X-Force picture. That's what it's looking like." Thanks to Deadpool, who stole a time machine and traveled back in time, Peter was brought back in the post-credits sequence, and everyone assumes that we all will return as well. Ryan Reynolds, star of the upcoming Deadpool 3, teases his research for it by watching Logan. Fortunately, Reynolds has often stated that Logan takes place in 2029. It is a whole different story. Logan passed away in Logan, unconnected to that. Whatever transpires, it seems obvious that this team-up will take place before that film and that Wolverine will likely be returned to his own reality. James McAvoy discusses one major criticism of the X-Men franchise and whether he has spoken to Marvel Studios. The actor's portrayal of Charles Xavier looks to have come to an end following the Disney-Fox merger, and in a recent interview with GQ, he referred to it as one of the most positive experiences I've had with the studio. In addition, they aren't really just money-making gigs in my opinion. I believe Days of Future Past is one of the better movies I've worked on. My biggest criticism of what we did throughout the 4 movies was that after the first movie, we didn't take advantage of the relationship between Xavier and Magneto, which really formed the backbone of the first film. So it was like, why did we just eject that massive weapon? Online, X-Men Fear the Beast script leaks. Wolverine, Wendigo, and Mr. Sinister make appearances. Hank McCoy Beast, played by Nicholas Hoult, battles with this mutation before visiting an Inuit community to try to aid an old friend. Before shocking audiences by bringing Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, the film quickly shifts into rated R horror territory and features the hero battling hunters alongside the Wendigo. Beast runs into Wolverine battling the same cage from the first X-Men movie in a 1990 early 2000s context. In this alternate history, Hank meets him before Rogue does, and they work together in the climactic scene. There are numerous cameo appearances, including those of Mystique and Jean Grey, and Mr. Sinister is introduced at the conclusion of the film. He was slated to be the new antagonist for the entire franchise, with early plans calling for John Hamm to be the bad guy in several films. A new X-Men animated series. In the planned reincarnation of the beloved animated series, X-Men 97, which is being made by Marvel Studios, the mutants are back. Although it isn't anticipated that the series will be set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we anticipate that some of what we will see will serve as a kind of prelude to what the studio has in store for their live-action equivalents. For Deadpool 3, Hugh Jackman explains how they won't screw up Logan's timeline. Jackman said he was fine with reprising his most well-known part because of a device that lets them roam across timelines in an interview with Radio Andy on Sirius XM. He goes on to say, "I just put it aside and I was like, no, I'm done. And then we made Logan and I was super happy with it. But all because of this device they have in the Marvel world of moving around timelines, now we can go back because, it's science. And so I don't have to screw with the Logan timeline, which was important to me, and I think probably to the fans too." Hugh Jackman recreates the very moment when he realized he should have kept playing Wolverine. Jackman already expressed his reasoning for taking on the part again, but he has since published a little video in which he describes the precise moment when he realized his mistake in quitting his Wolverine role.
But if I'm honest, 20 minutes into the Deadpool movie, all I kept seeing was 48 Hours, the Nick Nolte, Eddie Murphy movie. And I was like, damn it. Damn it. What have I done? What have I done? No, you said no, that's it, it's done. Okay, it's done.
Gambit's first concept art from Fox's unproduced X-Men spinoff has finally made its way online. These pitch mood boards were found on Anthony Wynn's ArtStation page, and they depict what appears to be Remy LeBeau experiencing some sort of emotional state. Despite the fact that we are unsure of whose version of the film his concept art comes from, the mutant sports Tatum's likeness. Hugh Jackman on if his Wolverine comeback will be a one and done in Deadpool 3. During his appearance with the Empire podcast, Jackman was specifically asked that issue, and while his response was evasive, it sounds like he'd be open to the prospect of remaining around. He goes on to say, "I imagine every movie as a one and done. That's how I see it," he said. "I'll be honest, I had a 2-picture deal at the beginning, but I still assumed it was a one and done. Back then there were no comic book movies, so I just take it one at a time. I'm lucky that way. I don't have to think beyond that. But I think it's the best way to go. How do I categorize it? 10 being really close, 0 being the reality. We're 0, we're opposites. We hate each other. I'm just talking from my perspective. Logan's frustrated by him, wants to be a million miles away from him, or wants to punch him in the head. Unfortunately, he can't be a million miles away from him in this movie, so I'm probably going to punch him in the head a lot. Also in Deadpool 3, potential new plot information emerges, including why Loki's TVA ended up participating. Following rumors that Owen Wilson might play TVA agent Mobius in Deadpool 3, some fresh plot information has surfaced online according to reliable insider at My Time to Shine H. They assert that Wade Wilson uses Cable's time machine to fly into the future in an effort to prevent Wolverine from perishing when Deadpool 2 ends. The two don't seem to have any common past when they first meet, but tampering with the time will place them on the Time Variance's authorities' radar. According to rumors, adamantium will be introduced in a very unexpected way in Captain America: New World Order. Cersei used her abilities to turn Tiamat, a developing celestial, into marble at the conclusion of Eternals, leaving a large alien god protruding from the Indian Ocean. Marvel Studios has yet to address that, and last month's hopes that Namor might bring it back up in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever were immediately shattered. The squad will travel to Genosha, the island that used to be known as the Celestials' resting place, according to a rumor that surfaced a few days ago. If you're acquainted with the X-Men comic novels, you might recall that Magneto presided over a place where mutants were the only inhabitants. It has since been asserted that this is actually Tiamat Island, with the Celestial receiving further attention in Captain America: The New World Order. As anticipated, it appears that the governments of the world will realize that they can utilize Tiamat's ruins, which explains why this is where adamantium is scheduled to be introduced. Yes, Tiamat will be the source of the unbreakable metal that coats Wolverine's claws. Various nations, including the United States, will fight for control of this resource, which is much more precious than the vibranium Wakanda has denied them. Naturally, President Ross from the film with Harrison Ford will be one of those attempting to seize power on the island. So that has been this month's Mutant Roundup. Please like and subscribe for more mutant updates.